Welcome to Versus, back from hiatus, and by hiatus, I mean I finally have a topic worth discussing. Now, if you're not familiar with what Versus is it's a show where I compare and contrast two things that are similar. You know, like Ridiculousness versus Tosh.0, Coke versus Pepsi, or PlayStation 3 versus the Xbox 360. But in today's show, we're gonna pit two epic cartoons that came from the 90s against each other, and that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Pokemon. Now, both of these shows are similar and different in their own way. For example, Pokemon, I see as more kid-friendly. I mean, both of them are kid shows, but Pokemon is more kid-friendly because the monsters aren't really, I guess, as scary as one would say. And I don't see Pokemon ever being on Adult Swim. I mean, I can't see Yu-Gi-Oh! Being on Adult Swim, seeing as it is, you know, hentai or whatever it is they call that. But, like, monster-wise, I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Has the better monsters. I mean, they look more badass than that. I mean, right here, this is the Egyptian gods right here, all three of them. You know, Slifer the Sky Dragon, Rain Dragon Ra, and Obelisk the Tormentor. The three toughest monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! And now here is probably, I guess, the two toughest ones, I guess, Mewtwo and Mew. You know, those are the toughest ones, I guess, because they're the most rarest. Now, when I talk about Pokemon, we're only going to talk about the first 151, you know, the original Pokemon. Before they got, you know, all weird and now there's like 1 million Pokemon or there's like 500 now. It's like, how is one supposed to become a Pokemon master if there's just more and more and more and more and more Pokemon? It's like, what the hell? I can see why the first Ash kind of quit because there wasn't that many. But in Yu-Gi-Oh! They utilize the cards as like the actual monsters, where in Pokemon, the cards are just, you know, a merchandising play, or for people to play Pokemon. And in Pokemon, it does seem like it would be harder to acquire more monsters, whereas in Yu-Gi-Oh! All you have to do is just, you know, like if you want to trade someone, then you can trade in real life. But the age-old question to me, and I'm sure to some of the people out there who are watching this, is not which show is better, because that's kind of like asking which system is better, the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360. They're both great machines, but it kind of goes on which you prefer and, I guess, brand loyalty. But if this ever were to happen, of course it won't, and I don't think there'll be a movie out of it because there's probably too much legal, you know, problems with it or something like that. Which monsters would win? Like, who would win in a duel? Would it be the Pokemon monsters or the Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters? I mean, my bet would have to be the Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters, mainly because they're bigger and they do look better and they look more badass. Whereas the Pokemon, they're not as big and they're kind of kid-friendly and more cartoonish than, I guess, real life, even though, you know, they're all cartoon. But, like, the biggest monster, I guess, they have is, you know, Dratini or, like, Charizard or Blastoise. But then when you compare them to, like, the Egyptian gods, they kind of blow them out of the water. You know, the Egyptian gods make Blastoise look like Squirtle, or make Charizard look like Charmander. You know, I guess it's kind of like, which one do you think would be better suitable? So, that's what the question is of the day, or of the video. Who do you think would be better? And who from what side could take on who? Like, do you think Slifer the Sky Dragon could take on Charizard? Or do you think, like, what's that? The green one. Is it Ivysaur? No, Venusaur. There we go. Could Venusaur take on the Winged Dragon of Ra? You know, so that's what you can do, you know. And now I'm going to point down like everyone else does, so leave your comments below. And like this video, favorite this video, spread it everywhere, you know, spread it like it's spread this video like it's an STD, okay? Because, you know, everyone's getting pregnant these days. I mean, did you know that MTV now made it acceptable for kids to have kids at 16 years old? I know, what a crazy world we live in, where it's acceptable for kids to have kids when they're a kid themselves. So, what is your decision? Who would be better in a fight? Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon? Discuss